think it's about time that we got around to filming this video because I have had this on my to film list forever. And we are now T-minus 1 week till the new Taylor Swift album release. And I feel as though now is the perfect time to do a ranking because it genuinely takes me about 3 months of listening to an album to really like work out where it solidifies in my list of favorites. So I thought finally I would sit down and rank every single Taylor Swift song ahead of her new album release. Strap yourselves in, this is going to be a long one. I'm going to gather that if you are watching it, you're probably also a fellow fan. You're also probably very excited ahead of next week. Let me know in the comments before we even get started which song you're most excited / anticipating hearing on the new album, because every time I look through the track titles I pick like a different song that I'm the most excited for. We're not here to talk about that. We are here to rank every single other... Oh, can you see how dirty my screen is? That's disgusting, sorry. Every single Taylor Swift song. Can we just... I've made these. These are album covers with the title tracks written on them, and that took me all of yesterday to do because she's got a lot of songs. So I'm gonna stop waffling and let's get on with it. So I've moved over to one side in the hope that we can kind of split screen this, but this is my ranking list. So we've got at the top, I don't know how it gets better than this because these are top tier, god tier, never skip Taylor Swift tracks. I can already tell you songs that are going to be in there are going to be things like Would've, Could've, Should've. For me, Cornelia Street, Champagne Problems, probably gonna be up there, right? Next, we have Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. These are iconic Taylor Swift songs, just like this was an iconic Taylor Swift moment. I feel like most fans probably could tell you where they were when she first sung that line. Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. Just like you could tell me where you were when you first heard this song. And not quite the creme de la creme, but they're close. Not every single song can be in the top section, by the way, and this is gonna be tough for me because like it really depends on my mood. Next one down is I Bet You Think About Me. It's a Taylor Swift song that you know it's always going to be played. Potential that it's popular with non-fans. Next one, I'm proud of this one. This is She Was Seen on Occasion, because these will make the playlist. They'll be played on occasion. They're not your go-to. And then the bottom we have I'd Cry, which is a little pun on I'd Lie, which is that going to be a debut vault track. This isn't necessarily for bottom tier Taylor Swift songs. I just feel as though this has to have a category because there are some songs that I just find too sad. They don't make my playlist. I'll skip them if they're in the cart. It needs a category of its own. I'm talking about things like Soon You'll Get Better, Ronan. Those kind of songs cannot feature in a ranking. So they've got their own I'd Cry section. And without further ado, we're just gonna crack on. Apparently, guys, there's no order to this. So we're doing it at random. Starting with Reputation. Right, I'm gonna really try not to witter. Okay, so New Year's Day being the first one we have to rank here. I think that is Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. The lyricism in this song. Oh! Also, guys, I actually did get it as my surprise song in LA. Call it what you want. A great song. Going in I Bet You Think About Me. It's great. Angry version. Call it what you want, yeah. Call it what you want to. Maybe be Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. Okay, Dress is going on. That might be, I don't know how it gets better than this. I really do believe that Dress is the sexiest Taylor Swift song that's ever been written. This is why we can't have nice things. Okay, that's gonna go in. That's why we can't have nice. Yeah, I Bet You Think About Me. It's not one of my most played Taylor Swift tracks, but it's good. King of My Heart is Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. These two are on here because I did get both of these as surprise songs, so now whenever I hear them, I'm immediately teleported back to the Eras tour. I'm perfectly fine. Getaway Car is, I don't know how it gets better than this. That is a fan favorite for a reason. It is just the best track on Reputation. So It Goes is also Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs for me. I think this is a very, very underrated song. Gorgeous. I'm gonna put in She Was Seen on Occasion. I don't love this track. And by the way, when I mean I don't love it, I mean I obviously do. It's just not my most played. Dancing With Our Hands Tied. This is so tough because the rap album for me is all just the top, but I'm gonna put that with Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. It's very beautifully written. I really like it. Look What You Made Me Do, also going on Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. I feel as though everybody could tell you what they were doing when this track dropped. This is gonna be like #1, isn't it? I don't like your little game. This was the comeback of all comebacks. Like, this song was exactly the moment at the time that it was released. It was perfect. I can't wait for Reputation Taylor's version. Don't Blame Me is, I don't know how it gets better than this. It really is. It is that bitch. Delicate. It's going in I Bet You Think About Me. I like it. Is it my favorite? They say I did something bad. I think that, is it? I'm torn here. I think I'm gonna put it in the second one. Ready for it. Just purely because, guys, as a album opener and as a tour opener, this song is the best. I don't know how it gets better than that. I am gonna make a big bold statement and I'm very, very sorry, but I do believe this opinion. The opening to the Reputation tour will never be topped. The opening to the Eras tour is iconic, but I think I do prefer the opening to the Reputation tour. Like, goosebumps down my spine when I hear the like, Taylor Swift's not been seen in 6 months.
Is the first time photographers have caught T-Swift on film in 6 weeks. Reputation.
So instead we'll talk about Taylor Swift's Reputation.
Are you ready for it?
What do you mean? What do you mean? So I think we've got some rap songs left, but we're moving on because the order is just so bizarre. This is a vault track. This is It Over Now from the Vault, and that is, I don't know how it gets better than this. That might be my favorite vault track. Suburban Legends. I'm actually gonna put in She Was Seen on Occasion. I feel as though this one had so much hype because the name is very cool, and then upon listening to it, since 1989 Taylor's version, I don't know how many times I've really played that. Say Don't Go is going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. Look, I actually think is going in I Bet You Think About Me. Again, I feel the hype actually overshadowed it. People were so excited by the title track name, and like rightly so. Taylor Swift having a song called Slut is insane. The other vault tracks were better. Now That We Don't Talk also is maybe going in, I feel a lot of them are going to be in the second tier because I can't commit to them being top, but they're above the middle. You Are In Love is a beautiful, beautiful song. Like, that is a potential on the wedding playlist. Not that I'm getting married, but if I was, it's a wedding song. Say Don't Go from the Vault. I would stay forever if... Why is that in there twice? We already have that one, babe. New Romantics is I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. A top tier Taylor Swift song. Also my surprise song in LA. Wonderland also is a firm, no, I think it's probably second. This Love. Honestly, I'm gonna go with She Was Seen on Occasion. I don't play that all that often. I Know Places quickly moved up the ranks when I got it as a surprise song.
They are the hunters, we are the foxes.
And that is now all of my surprise songs ranked, so I don't have any more. Wildest Dreams was one of my original favourite songs. I would say the original 1989 era was when I became a really big Taylor Swift fan, and it was probably this song that did that for me. I think the music video, the visuals, everything about it, so 2014. And I loved it. Bad Blood, I'm gonna put that in She Was Seen on Occasion. It's really not one of my favorites. I've forgotten to add the Kendrick Lamar version, but honestly that would rank the same. Like, I'm not a big fan of that track. Clean, Perfection. Clean is the perfect song, no words. That's the perfect track. That is maybe the best track on the album. How You Get the Girl, I'm gonna go with She Was Seen on Occasion. It's great. I think this is a really great manual for boys. Taylor Swift's written the list for you. I Wish You Would, probably also going in She Was Seen on Occasion. I feel it's just one of her tracks that it's not necessarily my go-to to listen to, but when it's on, it's a bop. But do I pick it? Maybe not. Endgame featuring Ed Sheeran and Future. I see this getting a lot of hate, and I like this song. I'm gonna put it in I Bet You Think About Me. I would actually quite like more rap features in some of Taylor's music, and I know that we're gonna get that with Post Malone on the new album, but I definitely think the addition of Future on the Reputation album really elevates the album, because to me it's quite an angsty album. Rap fits really well on that, and I think there are other tracks she could have featured more rappers on, personally, so I like this track. Also, I don't get the Ed Sheeran hate. I'm an Ed Sheeran fan, I'm sorry. All You Had to Do Was Stay. I'm also gonna pop in She Was Seen on Occasion, because although actually I do feel as though her version is better than the original on this track, so maybe it's going up a level. Out of the Woods, I don't know how it gets better than this. Top tier track. Everything about it is so good. The way that song is written, the Harry Styles-isms that run throughout the entire album, but specifically on this track. Blank Space, I can appreciate, is pop perfection. It's just overplayed. So for that reason, I'm putting it in I Bet You Think About Me, because that is the ultimate I Bet You Think About Me Taylor Swift song. Like, everybody's heard it, even if you're not a fan. Even if you have never once sat and thought, I'm gonna listen to Taylor Swift, you know Blank Space. Style might be her best single of all time. Is it? I think it is. Shake It Off, again, it's bottom for me. I'm so sorry. It's a pop masterpiece. It's just overplayed. When I ask a DJ on a dance floor, can you play Taylor Swift? If they play Shake It Off, I think you're not the best DJ. You could have picked a better song here. You have picked the song you've heard of and you think everybody knows, but trust me, there are others you could have picked. That is my opinion on Shake It Off. Okay, we're moving into Lover. This album ranking is so all over the shop for me because Lover has some of her best songs in her discography and also some of her worst, in my opinion. Oh my gosh, I'm saying some sort of bold claims. I'm really sorry because I do know that no opinion is a safe Taylor Swift opinion. Somebody will always disagree with you. Daylight for me is, I don't know how it gets better than this. Afterglow, I feel now with the release of this new album pending, also with a little bit more knowledge about her like past relationships, I am looking at Lover through a slightly different lens. Obviously when it was released, it was like pink and flowery and fun and this is the best relationship of my life, and I definitely think now, is there an element of rose tinted glasses on all of these songs? However, and I do think this is important because I've seen this a lot over the last few days, that should not affect a listening experience, because with no other artist do you really listen to the music through the lens of their life. You're looking at it through the lens of your own life or the impact that music has on your mood or your thoughts and feelings. Whereas with a lot of Taylor's music, because people are so involved in her personal life, I do think that the music becomes reflected of her relationships and of her life, and I don't think that that necessarily is right or what she wants. And I think it's difficult because everything is so autobiographical. She is writing such personal things that it becomes hard to separate them. I'm saying this because now I think if you listen to Afterglow, there's definitely an element of like anxiety over losing this person that runs throughout the entire Lover album. Maybe that's not going to affect my ranking at all though. Afterglow, I think, is I Bet You Think About Me. It's beautifully written. This whole album really is. Welcome to New York, controversially, I'm actually gonna put as Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. I love this song. I think it is such a fun album opener. I think it is the perfect mood setter for 1989. I think it's also the perfect genre shift, moving out of the Red era into the 1989 era. It's fun, it is upbeat, it's just such a good song. Also, if you've ever flown into New York, it's a rite of passage that this is playing as you hit the tarmac in JFK. Like, you have to have that song blasting in your ears. Me featuring Brendan Urie, honestly, I'm gonna put it in I'd Cry. It's not sad, it's just never played. So sorry, I know there are defenders of this track, but it is just not the one for me. Along with It's Nice to Have a Friend, I don't know the last time I listened to that. This is what I mean, we've just shifted from two songs I never play to Cornelia Street, which is I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. This is my #1 wish for a surprise song. It's the one I fear for. Every time I see her playing the surprise songs, I think this better not be Cornelia Street. So I won't be responsible for my actions if it is. False God is I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This, which is funny because when I initially ranked Lover when it came out, False God was bottom. We've matured, okay? Lover is going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. It's the best single off the album. Actually, no, it isn't. Cruel Summer is a single now, but at the time it was. I Think He Knows is She Was Seen on Occasion. It's fun, it's fine. London Boy is I Bet You Think About Me. I think that song's pretty iconic. Again, it's fun, it's like a little tongue-in-cheek, it's just playful. Death by a Thousand Cuts, Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. Icon. A mouthful to sing at speed. You Need to Calm Down. I'm putting that in I Bet You Think About Me just because it's iconic and its message is important. Personally, for me, it's not one of my favourite Taylor Swift songs. Soon You'll Get Better, too sad to play, I'd Cry. Paper Rings, also going in I Bet You Think About Me for the same reasons as London Boy. Playful and fun. Oh, we're genre shifting over to Evermore. It's Time to Go is Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. Like, everything she is singing in that song is such like a double entendre. Is that the word? Like a double meaning. And it's cleverly written. You have to be the brave one to quit sometimes, and you have to know when to leave, and for that to be like the right thing in the sense of a relationship and like a breakup. Very Taylor Swift. But also if you look at that song through the lens of her masters being stolen, which is what the song is about, it's just so good. Cowboy Like Me is I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. That songwriting, if this song is not at the top of your ranking, you need to listen to it again. The Archer, I'm gonna put in I Bet You Think About Me. Personally, it's really nicely written. Feelings of anxiety that run throughout it are real, but it's not my favorite. Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince is Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs because it's iconic. Nobody saw that coming as their era's tour opener, and looking back I think, isn't it obvious that that was going to be the tour opener? Ivy, I don't know how it gets better than this. Sorry, it just doesn't. How was one to know I'd meet you where the spirit meets the bone in a faith forgotten land? Shakespeare could never. Cruel Summer is the moment. It's going in, I don't know how it gets better than this, and this was my favourite off of the album when the album came out, and I love that it is now probably one of her biggest songs ever. I think that that should have been its lead single, and I'm so glad that now it kind of is. The Man is so much fun. It's going in I Bet You Think About Me. Dorothea, this is a question I have for you guys. I'm putting it in She Was Seen on Occasion because I don't play it that often, but I would really love to know what or who you think this song is about, because I am not a believer in that this song is about Selena Gomez. I'm sorry, I'm not. Feels like she's singing about somebody she was friends with, not somebody she is friends with. I Forgot That You Existed is such a slay, and it's just the most Calvin Harris coded song I've ever heard. Like, I'm so mean. I think if I were to be on the receiving end of a Taylor Swift breakup song, I'd want it to be that one. Like, it's really not that bad, you know what I mean? Next up, we have Right Where You Left Me, and this might take top spot for me in terms of my favourite ever Taylor Swift song. I think that, alongside Cornelia Street, as a pairing for surprise songs, I'm not sure I would have been able to continue. I wouldn't have processed the rest of the concert. I would have just been like, Tolerate It is also a work of art. I can't believe it's on the set list. I think about it a lot. I made you my temple, my mural, my sky. Now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of your life. Like, that is closure. I'm really sorry. I'm actually gonna pop that in I'd Cry. I'm not a fan. I really love the lyricism, but the production of the song just jars me, and I know that is the point, but I'm skipping it every time. I'm sorry. Willow is really fun. It's not my favorite, but it's very fun. No Body No Crime. Karma's the guy on the Chiefs. Like, I think that's very iconic. I'd be scared of her. Like, she could probably pull off a murder. Coney Island featuring The National. This is so tough because I adore this song. I don't think it's quite, I don't know how it gets better than this. It nearly is though. Long story short, also very fun. I really enjoy it. I like to listen to it. It's yeah. The ranking is taking up the whole screen now. Gold Rush is, I don't know how it gets better than this. Honestly, I feel the way the song is sung and written really encompasses the speed at which she falls for people. I think it's a really nice like insight into her brain. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a panic, there's an element of urgency throughout the entire song. It's like a da 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 da, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's top tier for me. Happiness, I feel, is probably one of the tracks that is closest to what the new album actually might represent. Not in terms of the sound, but I think, like, what do you do when a good man hurts you and you know you hurt him too? I do think there's going to be an element of that in the next album. I think there'll also be a lot of anger and a lot of, like, you know, hurt and blame, and maybe he wasn't always a nice person. But I also think there'll be an undercurrent of, like, this was so hard because we were hurting each other. It's going in I Bet You Think About Me. Evermore? I think it's going here. Alongside, honestly, right, Marjorie, I would have put in I'd Cry until the tour. Now I actually really love it. I think the bridge of the song is beautiful. Like, wait, why am I quoting this wrong? The autumn chill that wakes me up, you love the amber sky so much, long limbs and frozen swims, you'd always go past where our feet could touch. I am gonna put it in I'd Cry because I think I do cry every time. I cried at the tour, I'll cry at the tour again. Tis the Damn Season for me, criminally underrated. I am glad this is on the set list. I see so many people saying, oh, they should take it off the set list. No, don't do that. I've also never seen it because that was what she'd replaced with Nobody No Crime when Haim were the support. So when I saw the tour, she didn't sing Tis the Damn Season, and it better still be on the set list in the UK. Champagne Problems, I told you at the beginning, the creme de la creme of Taylor Swift songwriting. It's going in, I don't know how it gets better than this because I don't. Along with The Lakes, just because I feel a personal little pull to this song. As somebody from Northern England, I can't believe the Lake District gets a whole track and a track title. Hoax is criminally underrated. Like that. Listen Again. Mad Woman is a slay. I think it's I Bet You Think About Me. Mirrorball is also, I don't know how it gets better than this. Never in my life had I looked at a disco ball, because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have even called it a mirror ball, and thought about how you could spin the imagery of that into how broken you are as a person, especially as a celebrity. Everybody is looking at you, and all the chinks in her armor are what make her glitter. Do you know what I mean? I just think the imagery beautiful. Peace actually could contend with Right Where You Left Me for my favorite Taylor Swift song. And I think, again, again, the themes of this song are going to be explored a lot more in the new album. I think that this is a track that is a foreshadow of how she was feeling throughout a lot of the relationship. And would it be enough if I could never give you peace? Well, obviously the answer was no, it isn't enough. And I think that that's going to be really a lot of the album concept. Again, I'm just guessing, I could be wrong, but I definitely feel as though how silly were we to not pick up on that more during that era, because hello, I don't think you're really singing that about a happy relationship. I'd give you my wild, I'd give you a child, like no. Betty is going in I Bet You Think About Me. It's a slay. I ranked this very highly when I first listened to Folklore. It's not one I always return to. August is Thomas is the Guy on the Chiefs, just because I think it's a tiny bit overplayed. I love the lyricism, I literally have it tattooed on my back, but there's just 1% of me that feels like I've heard it a lot. Epiphany is going in I'd Cry. It's nearly always a skip. It's really sad. I think it's very telling of the time it came out. It's like pandemic undertones along with her granddad, along with the war. Personally for me, it's a skip. Illicit Affairs, Angry Girl version, screechy, screamy, shouty version. Is actually a different song to Illicit Affairs, because this is going in Karma is the Guy on the Chief. 7 is one of my favourite songs of all time. I think it's beautiful. I very much have adopted Love You to the Moon and to Saturn as like mine and my boyfriend's. This is so cringe, but like, you know when people are like, oh, I love you to the moon and back. No, I love you to the moon and to Saturn. Invisible String, again, taking away from that song her own relationship and her own experience and applying it to my own life. It's top tier. I'm gutted it was taken off the set list. Exile featuring Bon Iver is actually also one of my favourite songs. This is my boyfriend's favourite Taylor Swift song, which I find quite unusual. Like, it's a really rogue choice, and because of that it's played a lot in the car and stuff. I love it. Special. It's a duet. We sing it as a duet. It's cringy. Why am I admitting to this? This Is Me Trying is also, I don't know how it gets better than this. The whole Folklore album actually is just the top of the top. Cardigan is going in I Bet You Think About Me. I actually don't love this. I don't know if this is because it was the single. Lyrically, it's beautiful. I think that it's got some such gorgeous imagery. It's just not my favourite. The Last Great American Dynasty, I actually believe to be one of her best songs, and I think that this is a real testament to the fact that she doesn't need to be writing about herself and about her relationship for the song to absolutely slap. Like, this is not about her at all, and I don't even think you could spin it at all, really. Like, a lot of Folklore and Evermore you can look at now and think maybe that wasn't fictional. The Last Great American Dynasty, or Dynasty, I'm English, is about Rebecca Harkness, who owned the house that she now owns on Rhode Island. Also, I think the production of this on tour elevated this even higher for me. I think it's done so well. It's like watching a musical. Stunning. Would've, could've, should've. I don't know why that's next, but it's obviously, I don't know how it gets better than that. I don't know if she'll ever write a better song than that. I can't think of how you could possibly top the lyricism in that song. I also do really recommend checking out Ali's video essay on this. If you've not seen this, I really think you should. I'll link it down below. It's a real look at how the religious imagery themes throughout this song. It's like listening to an English essay in the best way possible, and this song is her songwriting at its peak. High Infidelity is fun. It's fun. I think it's She Was Seen on Occasion kind of fun though, because I feel I skipped that one. Unless it's April 29, I'm not really listening to that. Snow on the Beach featuring Lana Del Rey. I'm not gonna lie, it's She Was Seen on Occasion. I don't pick to play that. Dear Reader has risen through my rank in the run up to this album release. I feel as though a lot of people are of the belief of like, you know, Dear Reader and You're Losing Me. Oh my gosh, I've just realized You're Losing Me is not on here because I went through, oh, and neither is All of the Girls You Loved Before. Okay, I've missed 2 tracks off of this. I'm very sorry. Probably both of those songs are gonna go in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. I really love them though. They're not on the screen, but just know they should be. Dear Reader's going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chief. I think we're gonna listen to it and appreciate it more once the next album is out. Glitch, I'm so sorry. I think it's going in I'd Cry. I wouldn't cry at it, so I'll put it up a ranking. My Tears Ricochet is going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. Because what do you mean? The One, I think, is the perfect album opener. It is the first few beats of that song immediately teleport me back to 2020 in a good way, and not very many things do that. I think that album came at the perfect time. Like, I was not thriving during the lockdown. I think a lot of people felt fairly similar. Like, my mental health was really not very good, and this album really got me through that time, and this track being the opener all I have to do is hear the first few beats of it and I'm like, oh my god. Okay, next up we have Paris. Controversially, again, I think this sits alongside Welcome to New York for me. It's fun. I love a location track name. I love a song about a place. I really feel as though, for me, they're very fun. If you're in that location, you can be like, woo, we were in Paris. It doesn't have to be really sad and depressing for it to be a really great song. Mastermind is going in, I Bet You Think About Me. I like it. It's not my favourite off Midnights, but I like it. Karma Is the Guy on the Chief is probably going to claim Karma. It's iconic. However, I do not like the Ice Spice version. Guys, we're running out of room. The Great War, creme de la creme. I'm never gonna skip it. Could again take top spot for me. I feel as though Would've, Could've, Should've and The Great War are the best two songs off of Midnight. Ooh, do I think that? That's a big claim. I just forgot about Maroon. Bigger Than the Whole Sky is going in, I'd Cry. I don't think there is another song in Taylor's discography that talks about loss in such a personal way. Like this for me. I can't believe she sung it. I mean, I think that in the setting that she sung it as a surprise song, it was absolutely perfect. But I think that I didn't expect to ever hear her sing that live. I think it's a lot. It's very personal. Beat Nothing is going in, She Was Seen on Occasion. I could take or leave it. Bejeweled is not next. Labyrinth is going in, I Bet You Think About Me. Bejeweled, again, is going next to Paris and Karma as a fun song. Like, those are Taylor Swift songs I feel that we need, because those are the songs that quite often rank through the charts and are played on the radio. And those are the songs that a lot of people will hear first and then maybe start listening to other music, and I think they're like a gateway. I think if you look at it alongside other songs on the album, it's actually quite funny. And I also think it's going to be an idea that we do get explored more in the new album. I definitely think there'll be both, this is such a sad experience to have to go through, but also a look at how I can shine on my own element of this album. And I think Bejeweled was like the start of that off of Midnight. Vigilante shit, I think I expected it to slay more than it did. I think it's going in, I Bet You Think About Me. It's very iconic. Like, I can't believe if you'd have listened to Taylor in 2010 and then told me she had a song called Vigilante Shit out in 2022 or whatever that was, I would not believe you. So for that, it's going in, I Bet You Think About Me. Along with Question. Question is kind of slay. I still have a lot of questions about Question. Midnight Rain alongside it. It's very fun. You're On Your Own Kid is maybe going in, I don't know how it gets better than this, because it's heartbreaking and another theme I think we'll see on the new album. Antihero is one of her better singles. I really rate that. I like it. I still listen to it. I think when it's on the radio, I'm like, yeah. Maroon, I don't know how it gets better than this. Maroon should be on the set list. I'm sorry, it really should be. Lavender Haze, it's an iconic album opener. It's going in, Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. Like, everybody remembers where they were when they clicked play on Midnights for the first time and you just hear the little... Why do we have Shake It Off in here again? All Too Well, the 10-minute version, is I don't know how it gets better than this, just for the icon that it was when it was released. The Red TV release week will always be famous. The Very First Night from The Vault is I Bet You Think About Me. It's fun. Run featuring Ed Sheeran from The Vault. I'm sorry, I don't think I've ever played that since. Forever Winter from The Vault is going in, I'd Cry. I'm sorry, it's really quite upsetting, especially if you relate to it on a personal level. I think that song's quite heavy. I understand why that was left off of the original album the first time. I think it suits a more mature Taylor. I Bet You Think About Me is Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. It's so iconic. I think the fact that Blake Lively directed the music video bumps this up a little bit for me as well. I really love the music video. And I also think the fact that she has a line on one of her songs saying, oh my god, she's insane, she wrote a song about me, is such a nod to the time that the original album was written, because when Red came out the first time around, I feel as though it was very much when she was getting a lot of, oh, you write a lot of songs about your ex-boyfriend. Oh, do you not worry that boys won't want to go out with you if you're going to write a song about them? It's 2012 and I love it. Message in a Bottle is I Bet You Think About Me. It's fun. Babe from The Vault, right, this is controversial because I know this is a fan favourite, but for me, She Was Seen on Occasion. Nothing New featuring Phoebe Bridgers is going in, I don't know how it gets better than this. I know someday I'm gonna meet her, it's a fever dream, the kind of radiance you only have at 17. No. So first time I heard that, I was like, wow, this has me feeling something, and the something is sadness. All right, we're getting through it, we're gonna carry on. Better Man is going in, I Bet You Think About Me. I like it, it's not my favourite. Ronan from The Vault is I'd Cry. That's why this category was created. You can't rank Ronan. Heartbreaking and beautiful. Girl at Home, the original version, and this is controversial, I prefer a lot over the Taylor's version, and this is nothing to do with anything other than the production of the song. It sounds like a different song. But I'm gonna pop it in I Bet You Think About Me because I feel that it's iconic. Rumour has this, it's about Zac Efron. I don't know if that is true, but yeah. I also think, is this one of the songs she's not yet performed on the Eras tour? Come Back Be Here for me is Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs, because again, I think this is a theme for me, but if the song mentions a location, specifically London and or New York, I really enjoy it. I feel like it reminds me that she's living on the same earth we are. I hear her singing about London or New York, I'm like, oh, those are places she has been to too. It just feels so out of the realm. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. The moment I knew is going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs is criminally underrated, and I think we looked at it through a new lens with the re-release of the album and also with All Too Well 10-minute version. I definitely think you kind of get like a behind the scenes of this song. Begin Again is going in I Bet You Think About Me. Starlight I think is a little underrated actually. I think I'm gonna maybe pop that in I Bet You Think About Me because this is another one of her tracks where not really about her and it slaps, and I think people really look at this album as a breakup album, and it is. Red is a breakup album, but this song is on there and it's not about her breakup, and I really like it. It's got some beautiful lyrics. Everything Has Changed. Okay, right, I know what I said about Ed Sheeran earlier in the video, and I love Ed Sheeran, but for me this one is a little bit of a skip. It's going in She Was Seen on Occasion. This is such a big ranking that I actually can't move them up the screen. The Lucky One for me is a personal favorite. I think this is a really underrated song. Going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. Also the fact that she said this about it, again, sits in the middle of a breakup album and tells you how she was feeling about the outside world rather than about her relationship or about her. It's like a microscopic lens that the media put over her, and not too many of her songs really explore that theme. I would definitely like that a little bit more on this album. Sad, Beautiful, Tragic. She Was Seen on Occasion. She's good. I don't play her all the time. Holy Ground is going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. This song is a banger. The Last Time featuring Gary Lightbody is going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs because it's so underrated. Like, if you actually listen to it and you take in just how many times they're kind of like grappling with each other and like singing over each other, and she's really reiterating the exact same point throughout the whole song. Yeah, this song is actually really powerful. Stay, Stay, Stay is going in I Bet You Think About Me. I like this song. I see it getting a lot of hate. It's definitely very like girly pop 2012. If you actually just listen to the backing music without her vocals over the top, it's sort of giving like Zoella YouTube 2013 background music, but I'm not mad at it. Like, I think it's fun. Again, I think people are really very quick to be like, oh, if it sounds fun, it must be a bad song. I also now think the line, you come in wearing a football helmet and say let's talk, or whatever the actual lyric is so like lovely now that she is actually going out with somebody wearing a football helmet. We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together is going in I Bet You Think About Me. It's fun. It was the moment. I would say also it was like her breakout pop song. Really, Red is not a pop album, but I think that this alongside I Knew You Were Trouble hitting the pop charts in 2012 was kind of what shifted her, especially in the UK, I would argue, into the mainstream, because definitely the songs off of like Fearless, like Love Story and You Belong With Me, were well-known songs, but I think these songs coming around the same time as like smartphones, and I remember listening to this on my like very first iPhone, something shifted with these singles. So for that I can appreciate them. I Almost Do is going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. I actually think this is a really underrated Taylor Swift song. 22 is going alongside We Are Never Getting Back Together. I'm actually gonna do this one now as well. I Knew You Were Trouble. They all sit alongside each other for me. They're overplayed, but they're great songs. Also 22 being like such a significant age now because of the song. I love that. All Too Well is obviously gonna sit alongside, actually is it? No, I think All Too Well is going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. 10-minute version, I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. 5-minute version, Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. I loved that song before we had the 10-minute version, but I think that just pushed it. Treacherous for me is going in She Was Seen on Occasion. I do skip this sometimes. I'm so sorry though, it is beautifully written. Red is really quite fun. I think it's going next to I Knew You Were Trouble, but I do wish Red was on the set list of the Eras tour in place of I Knew You Were Trouble or We Are Never Getting Back Together. And then State of Grace for me is going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs, because there's some really beautiful lyricism in this song. I think it's a really great album opener. You Were Never a Saint and I Loved in Shades of Wrong. We Learn to Live with the Pain, Mosaic, Broken Hearts, But This Love is Brave and Wild. Like, that is so nicely written. The themes of this song that carry throughout the rest of her work, like the idea of love is a ruthless game unless you play it correctly, that is so much of her music. Okay, so we've got 3 albums left. We're gonna power through quickly now. Timeless from the Vault, She Was Seen on Occasion. I don't play it that often. Foolish One alongside it. Castles Crumbling. I think maybe Castles Crumbling is I Bet You Think About Me, just because of the feature, and I can't believe I haven't written that on there. Having Hayley Williams feature on this album fits the vibe of the original album so well. So for that, it's going in I Bet You Think About Me. I Can See You from the Vault, I think, is going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. I never skip that song. It's my favourite Vault track from Speak Now, and I think that it was just such a power move having Taylor Lautner in the music video. When Emma Falls in Love is going in next to Castles Crumbling for me. I'm gonna be fully honest with you, the Speak Now Vault tracks are not my favourite. Electric Touch, what I feel in this electric touch. Next to Emma Falls in Love, I Bet You Think About Me. It's iconic. I'd watch Superman fly away. She Was Seen on Occasion. Speak Now is such an album that is split for me because, again, some of the best songs are on this album and then some of them I nearly never listen to. Hours, I feel like, is going next to Superman. These are songs I definitely play. I don't listen to them all the time. Long Live, however, let's move that right up the ranking. It's going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. I want there to be Long Live explored again in the new album, like a real ode to the fans, and I feel as though we are probably gonna get that. I've seen a lot of theories suggesting that LOML, which might stand for Love of My Life, is not gonna be about a relationship, but is gonna be about her relationship with the fans and how music and how touring and how the fans are the love of her life. And I think that that would be just lovely because Long Live, I mean, it could also go in I'd Cry, because I did cry listening to that. When she played that live, something shifted. Last Kiss, gosh, it's just heartbreaking. I love that song. Haunted also is a criminally underrated Taylor Swift song. I think that's going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. Innocent is She Was Seen on Occasion. I'm not a massive lover of this band. I love the thought behind it at the time. Better Than Revenge, I'm sorry, it's going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. It's such a power move song. It's a tiny bit rock. I think we want more Taylor Swift to sound like this. I think it's such a like angsty, I am 19 years old and like you've just stolen my boyfriend energy, and I love it. I love the re-recording as well. I think the thought of the lyric change was more shocking than the actual lyric change. Like now that it's not the same lyrics, I'm really not bothered. So Enchanted, this might be controversial, but I'm gonna put it in I Bet You Think About Me. It's definitely a power Taylor Swift song. It's not my favorite off of Speak Now. I actually was a little bit gutted when the Eras tour first started and she was only playing Enchanted, because I thought that is not the strongest song off of Speak Now. Like it's lovely, it's romantic. I think it's a really nice like wedding kind of song. Never Grow Up is going in I'd Cry. I can't listen to that song because it makes me very, very sad. The Story of Us, I think, is actually gonna go up here, guys, in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. One of my first favorite Taylor Swift songs when I was very, very young. The music video also, I feel it's not spoke about enough. It's such a good music video. Mean is going in I Bet You Think About Me. Powerful Taylor Swift song. Got me through some tough times in high school. The whole thought of like, one day I'll be living in a big old city and all you're ever gonna be is mean. I think I adopted that as my life mantra. Dear John. Dear John is going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. Really one of her best track 5s. Maybe the best track 5. Big bold claim actually, because All Too Well also holds that spot. But the two of them together, they both deserve to be in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. Speak Now is going in I Bet You Think About Me. Iconic. Maybe I'm gonna put that up one ranking. Very, very fun. I also used to sing the line, horrified looks from everyone in the room, but I'm only looking at you. For my whole life until about last year, I thought the words were 4 or 5 looks from everyone in the room. And I've been singing that confidently my whole life. And then when it became big on TikTok, I was like, oh, turns out they're not the words. Turns out the words are horrified looks. Back to December is one of her only apology songs, really. I feel as though we know that she regretted how that relationship ended. You don't get that much within her work. I think there's definitely a different theme being explored in Back to December, and I just think it's very like, you guys. Sparks Fly is actually one of my favourite Taylor Swift songs. It's going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. I think it's very underrated. Mine is sitting next to me. You Are the Best Thing That's Ever Been Mine is a really nice thought and a really nice sentiment. If it was a slow song, I'd probably be like, oh, how romantic. Okay, camera's flashing. We're gonna be back in about 10 minutes when we've charged the battery up to do the final 2 albums. We're back. We have 2 albums left to rank, and they are her first 2 albums. This is actually gonna be tough, I feel. How long is this video, do we reckon? About an hour? So next up is Bye Bye Baby from The Vault. I am gonna pop that in She Was Seen on Occasion because I don't really play this track. Don't You also I feel is going in She Was Seen on Occasion. I don't very frequently listen to the Fearless Vault track. We Were Happy is probably joining it in there. Having said that, I feel Mr. Perfectly Fine is going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. It's fun, it's pop. I also think it's a power move, to be honest. You All Over Me, I'm gonna pop that in I Bet You Think About Me. I think, was this one of the first Vault tracks released? Was this teased a little earlier? I can't remember why I know this one so well or why I listen to this one so much. That's When, featuring Keith Urban, I think is also gonna go in I Bet You Think About Me because, again, it's fairly iconic. Keith Urban is a really great feature. Today Was a Fairy Tale being placed in Fearless Taylor's version when it wasn't originally, I think is an interesting choice. I really, really like this song. I think I'm gonna pop it in I Bet You Think About Me. It's not one of my favorites, but I definitely do really love it. The Other Side of the Door, however, for me, is going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. This is one of the best songs on this album and the best outro of any Taylor Swift song. Was it Melbourne where she played this recently? Like, what a mashup, what a mashup. Superstar for me is going in She Was Seen on Occasion. There's quite a lot of the Fearless album I don't listen to that often. I really have to be in the mood. The same with Come In With the Rain, the same with Untouchable. Jump Then Fall, I'm actually gonna pop in I Bet You Think About Me. I really do like this track. I also have a friend who this is their favorite Taylor Swift song, and because of that I think I've listened to it a lot more than some of the others. Change I think is going in She Was Seen on Occasion. The Best Day is going in I'd Cry. I love this song, but I would cry listening to it. I have cried listening to it. It is the most Mother's Day song of all time. It was one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs when I was really young. I love it. I think it's such a nice ode to her mother, but also to all mothers. Forever and Always slaps. That's going in Karma Is the Guy on the Chief. Where I Loved You, I'm actually gonna pop that up here in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. I cannot believe she's not sung this as a surprise song yet, because this is one of my favorite Taylor Swift tracks, especially the roller coaster kind of rush, like that little bit. Can't believe I'm singing in this video. You're Not Sorry, going in I Bet You Think About Me. Wow. Okay, well I don't know where that even just went, but it's going in, it's going in I Bet You Think About Me. I've lost it though. Tell Me Why is going in She Was Seen on Occasion. Breathe featuring Colby Calais, I think is how you say that, is also going in there. I really don't feel as though I listen to that song all that often. You're Not Sorry is here. We're putting it in I Bet You Think About Me. You Belong With Me, however, is going here in Karma Is the Guy on the Chiefs. It's an iconic Taylor Swift song, and am I gonna say it's her best music video of all time? Maybe. White Horse is, for me, it's I Bet You Think About Me. It's a solid track 5. I love that she sung it with Sabrina Carpenter. I think that was actually maybe, that version would maybe rank higher for me. Hey Stephen, also I Bet You Think About Me. Love Story for me, and I know this goes against everything else I've said about her overplayed singles, but this has a very, very special place in my heart because Love Story was the first Taylor Swift song I remember really, really loving. When I was 9 years old and this song came out, I was obsessed with this song. Like, this song was my personality for like a whole year. It's a real standout memory, not just of being a Taylor Swift fan, but also of my childhood. Like, I really remember being 9 years old and making everybody around me listen to this song. And I had it burnt onto a CD. I'll insert the photo if I have it. So I could just loop this song because I didn't have the album. I don't think I had anywhere to even play the albums. I don't know where I played this CD, but I just wanted to just listen to Love Story on a loop. So for that, like, yes, it's overplayed, yes, everybody knows it for a reason. Okay, we've got 15. 15 for me is also actually gonna go up here in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. Holds a really special place in my heart. I remember being 15, listening to 15. It's storytelling at its best, as is Fearless. That's making the top cut for me. I mean, I have it tattooed on my arm here. No, it's just really, really fun. I'm very, very glad this made it onto the Eras Tour set list, and it's just a real fun track. Let's rank her debut album in amongst these to complete this little video. We've got A Perfectly Good Heart. That is I Bet You Think About Me. It's a slay. I'm gonna be very honest, her debut album is definitely the one that I know the least, just because I became a fan, like a very casual fan, during the Fearless era, and then from there onwards listened to all of the other albums. Because I missed the debut era initially and we haven't revisited it yet, I do feel as though I don't know the album quite as well as I know the others, but I do pick to listen to it less. Invisible, She Was Seen on Occasion. I'm Only Me When I'm With You. I'm Only Me When I'm With You is a slay. Okay, so this is a hot take. Actually, it's not a hot take. I'm gonna put our song in Karma Is the Guy on the Chief. No, I think I am gonna put that in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. Like, Her songwriting is great in that, and she's so young. I really feel as though Our Song should have had its own moment in the Eras tour as a one song set for her debut album. I think everybody knows this song already anyway. It's not like unheard of. Enchanted was a one song set. Debut could definitely have had that. Mary's song, Oh My My My. I'm gonna pop that in. Karma is the Guy on the Chiefs. Again, because I think I've listened to this more in the last year than ever before, and the lyrics about I'll be 87, you'll be 89, and now her being with Travis, who plays number 87, I think it's just the invisible string theory is masterminding. Should Have Said No is actually one of my all-time favorite Taylor Swift tracks, and is getting a place in the I don't know how it gets better than this category right next to Our Song, because that is the ultimate, like, you should not have cheated on me, you've wronged me here, and I'm gonna make sure you know about it, and it stands the test of time. That was a power song on her debut album. Just imagine how powerful it's gonna be as a re-record. Stay Beautiful for me is She Was Seen on Occasion. I don't feel I really ever listened to Stay Beautiful. As with Tied Together with a Smile, and also The Outside, I am so sorry because these are maybe incredible songs, I just definitely don't know them as well. Cold As You is definitely going in I Bet You Think About Me though. That's her first track 5, and I'm not sure when the track 5 thing really started to become where the like sad song sits in the ranking and like in the track listing. I would say by Fearless it's already ranked like that, so was this intentional on her debut album? I'm not too sure personally myself. A Place in This World is probably also gonna sit in I Bet You Think About Me. I think it's really, you can tell she was younger when she wrote it, but it still really fits in terms of like, isn't it difficult trying to just find your place in the world, trying to fit in as a young girl, trying to know like what your role is. I think that really stands. Teardrops on My Guitar is going in Karma is the Guy on the Chiefs, because that was one of the first Taylor Swift songs I do remember hearing. I think I did hear this because I went through a real phase when I was probably about 10 or 11 of watching music videos on YouTube. Like, I seen a lot of music videos from like the 2009, 10, 11 era when YouTube was really taking off, because I would just watch them all on like my family computer, and I do recall this one being one of them, but I don't think I really took the song in. I would have only been about 10. Picture to Burn for me is going in I Don't Know How It Gets Better Than This. I have loved this song since I was about 15 and going through my own very sassy 15-year-old relationship breakup and tweeting out lyrics like this. And Tim McGraw is going in I Bet You Think About Me, which is ironic really given the sentiment of Tim McGraw being the fact that when you think of Tim McGraw you now think of Taylor Swift instead of Tim McGraw himself. Like, I don't know, I think that that's quite funny. That is the last one, and that is my ranking, guys. That's insane. We've got a solid 4 rows in the top category, 3 rows in the middle, 4 rows in I Bet You Think About Me, and then 3 and then 1. Let me know down in the comments if you disagree with any of these. I am so sure that there are going to be some firm fan favourites in my She Was Seen on Occasion category, which I really want to reiterate. It does not mean I don't like those songs, it just means I don't play them as frequently. Let me know what your number 1 song would be if you had to pick. I'm not going to do it, but I have spoke about a few that could take top spot. Like I say, I feel like right before a new album release is the perfect time, because right now I feel as though I really know her discography of work. In a week's time, I'm gonna be thrown again, because I do have to listen to an album quite a lot before I can rank it. If you've got all the way to the end and you are new to my channel, please do make sure you subscribe down below, leave a comment, leave a like. Everything like that really helps to boost my videos in the algorithm and to push them out to other potential people that might enjoy them. I will be back on my channel next week on Friday with a reacting video to the Tortured Poets Department. I'll be back before then anyway with a vlog, but more Taylor Swift content is coming next week. If it is not for you, I'm impressed that you're still watching all the way at the end of this video, but much more normal content will be coming very soon. It's just the middle of the month where Taylor Swift's releasing an album, therefore all my thoughts are being consumed by the fact that she is releasing an album. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I've not offended you and your opinions, and I know these songs hold a very special place in people's hearts. This is just my take. Other than that, I shall see you guys on my channel very, very soon.